I don't know what it was like to live anywhere else, and then I find myself trotting out little Irish stories like my granny worked with James Joyce's sister, which is true, or my mother worked for Flann O'Brien, Brina Nolan. He was her boss in the civil service. So I would have a description of Brina Nolan going across the Liffey on his way over to the pub from the customs house where he worked, because my mother would see him and he would be known. You'd ask about Patrick Kavanagh, and he wasn't very well regarded. My father would see him around Bagot Street, but he was pretty much drunk, I think, And, he was, or a bowsy, I think my father said he was. So these literary figures would be part of your childhood landscape. I remember, here's a cute Irish story for you. I remember Kitty, who used to come in and help my mother on a Friday, Kitty, walking up and down the hall. She didn't do much work, I have to say, imitating Yeats walking around Stevens' Green with his hands behind his back. He'd walk along like this, says Kitty. Says a cleaning woman. I remember a guy came over from Time magazine. He was sitting in Bewley's. He said, the air hostess said I should read Pat McCabe. I said, no, she's right. And he said, no, the air hostess. He said, stewardess. He said, I should read Pat McCabe. And I said, you do. And he said, but she's the air hostess. And I said, well, yeah, He was really surprised. And I said, well, she can read. It's one sentence after the other. So Irish people aren't afraid of books. There isn't as much of a class thing about it. I'm really on the air hostess's side in this. Why shouldn't she read books? And again, the readership is central to what's been going on in Ireland for the last 20 years. People are engaged, and disappointed, endlessly disappointed. You're always writing the wrong book in Ireland. It's like, it might be a good book, might be not so good book. It's the wrong book for Ireland now. Actually, that's not so much the readers as the goddamn journalists, Who are we?